welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make a vegan vanilla cake with a vegan buttercream frosting. Throughout this video you'll see what I'm putting into my mixing bowl, and again I am making it on the stove just like I did in my last video. So I'll put in the description the recipe I am using and the directions for the oven. So if you're using the oven, you're going to preheat it to 350 degrees. I'm making this cake a double layer cake with an apricot jelly filling. So here we go. All right, so to start, I'm gonna start with 3 1/4 cup of flour. So I have everything here pre-measured, so I'm just gonna add it to my bowl. And then next I'm gonna do 1 1/2 cups of sugar. And then I have 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And then I have 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna go ahead, these are all my dry ingredients, so I'm gonna go ahead and whisk those all together before I add in the wet ingredients. So this recipe will have no eggs and no dairy. I'll be using oat milk as my milk, and you'll see that I am going to use some white vinegar in this recipe. So now I'm going to start with my wet ingredients. So I have 2 cups of water here measured out. And then I have 2/3 cup of canola oil. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in my white vinegar, and I only have 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. You will not taste the vinegar when the cake is all done. And then the last thing I'm gonna have is 2 tablespoons of vanilla. All right, so now I'm gonna whisk this all together before I put it into my pan. Okay, so I just poured it into my cake pan. So here's my cake pan. Again, it's smaller. I would normally use the bigger one like this, but because I'm making it for just a couple people to eat, I'm decided to go with the smaller one. All right, so I'm gonna put this into my pan, and I'll show you that. All right, so I just had my pan preheating while I was mixing this all together, so it's ready to go. I'm gonna probably cook it for about 30 minutes. If you are cooking it in the oven, it does take 30 to 35 minutes to bake. So because my pan has been preheating pretty much all morning because I already baked my chocolate cake, I'm just gonna go ahead and start with 25 minutes and then check it. So here we go. All right, we'll check back in a little bit. Alright guys, so it's been about 25 minutes. I'm about to check the cake. It did rise a little bit and it's a little bubbly, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. Here is the cake. I'm just going to test it. Again, I forgot to get the toothpicks. I couldn't find any at the store, but I'm going to go ahead and use my knife. The cake smells so good. Okay, so it's actually ready to take out, so I'm going to let it cool for about 30 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop my cake onto my little cooling station, and then After about like 30 minutes, I'm gonna pop it in the fridge so that way when I'm ready to frost it, it's nice and cool and it's easier to get the buttercream on without it falling apart. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wait. I just finished cooling the first layer of my vegan vanilla cake. I'm gonna put this in the fridge so it's ready to get the frosting on it. And then I'm gonna fill it in my second cake pan and pop that in. Currently I am still baking my next layer of my chocolate peanut butter cake. So once that's done, I'll start the second layer of this. All right, so I just finished the second layer and I'm moving on to that third final layer before I can start making my vegan buttercream frosting. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge now so it gets nice and cool and ready for the frosting. All right, so now I'm gonna get ready to make the vegan buttercream frosting. So I'm just gonna go over what will be in that. So I'll start with 2 sticks of this Country Crock plant-based butter. And then I'll add in 3 cups of my powdered sugar here, and I'll do like half cup at a time. And then you can use any kind of non-dairy milk that you would like. So the recipe that I have, usually I would put almond milk in, but since I have oat milk, I'm going to go ahead and just use, add like a tablespoon at a time just to see what consistency I want for this buttercream. So it's really only 4 ingredients, because also you're going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So 4 ingredients for this buttercream frosting. So here we go. The color is looking really good. I'm just scraping the sides. I don't want too much white in there. I want it to be as purple as possible. And I also don't want to beat the butter too much because it is gonna melt. Okay. Alright, so now I'm getting ready to ice it. I'm just getting my piping bag ready, and I'm using the Wilson 2A. I'm gonna use that on the inside outer layer before I put my apricot in there. And I already took a bread knife and I kinda smoothed out the top. So this cake has been in my fridge for a little bit, so it's nice and cool and ready for the frosting. Alright, I didn't put too much in because, again, mainly is gonna be used for the outside. Okay, so here you'll see I just put a little bit of icing. I'm not gonna like be too picky about what it looks like because then I'm putting the apricots kind of on top, so I just want to spread it. Okay, now I'm gonna put in my apricot filling. So each layer is going to have this. Okay, now I'm going to add the second layer on top. This will be a center. Right, and here is the final layer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and plop the icing on, and then I'm going to start spreading it. Alright, so I had to stop the video. This is real. Make mistakes. The top layer did not quite let cool long enough, so I stopped what I was doing, and now it's in the fridge cooling just a little longer so I can finish icing it because the butter has started melting. But I also think that's because the area I'm using is very warm from baking. So the butter, I just put everything in the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna go back and do what I was doing. Alright, so now I'm just gonna decorate with some the Wilton 1A. I feel like that's what it's called. So I'm just gonna go around the bottom. And then I'm gonna add in some cute little pearls. Finished. It's already in the box, ready to go. And tomorrow I may add a little more to it. Good. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to comment what recipe you would like me to make next. Hit that subscribe button and like the video. And please share it. Thanks, guys.